here is your little body. The reference was really difficult, but in the end, I think, you know, pretty much, hopefully I've captured the likeness.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, happy?
You can actually have a decent look because the
it's
details are
beautiful.
just amazing.
That's
What you had to go on, but it's just brilliant.
That was the
G'day guys, what you just witnessed there was me handing over a painting to a lovely lady in South Australia who asked me to paint a portrait of Levi for her sister, which is going to be a Christmas present. Now, as you can see there, I've already painted the background in a salmon pink, wasn't happy with that. Tried for a light grey, still didn't really make me feel like it was jumping out of the canvas. So then I opted for this nice, sort of like a phthalo blue. And then I'll just add some more white to the mix. And as I get to the top of the canvas, it'll just be a nice light background. And just another thing, I'm not actually blending. I'm more or less just crisscrossing as I go lighter and lighter. So that way it just kind of looks like it's a painterly background. And as anybody would know that's been following me for a little while would know that I like to paint the sides of my canvas. That way my customer doesn't have to have them framed. They can just unwrap them and put them straight on the wall. And also it does save on framing costs. Here I'm just doing a crisscross action with the paintbrush, which is only just a flat brush, probably an inch wide. And here I'm just adding a little bit more of that titanium white, wet into wet, and I'm just letting those highlights start to protrude from the canvas or pop out from the canvas. And now I'm moving straight into the blocking in process where I've got some yellow ochre, some raw sienna dark, and a tiny dash of olive green. Now, as you can see there, it's still just the blocking in process where I'm just mapping out those undertones so that when I come to paint in more detail later, I'll have a good idea of where to paint my darker shadows and my lighter highlights. Now here I'm moving into my lovely old filbert. I love my filbert, as you might know. 5mm there, it's just a flat brush with rounded edges, and I've got a little bit of raw umber that I'm just using as the tip of the dog's ear. I should have my reference up there, hang on, I'll just put it here now. Ta-da! Oh yeah, I'm not just a painting extraordinaire, I'm also an editing extraordinaire as well. Anyway, I've used a little bit of titanium white there. Actually, it might be antique white, I should say, mixed in with a little bit of that raw umber. And again, I'm just blocking in the darker and lighter shades at this stage before I start to add too much detail. Wet into wet, just painting over that raw umber there with that lighter tone. And as you can see with those little white gaps there that I've left while I was blocking in, that allows me to know, kind of like a roadmap, where to put my darks in as I'm going along. It's just something I like to do personally. And here's a good example of why I like these filberts. See how I'm just twirling and twisting, using one edge there so I can go to a nice flat or a broad stroke, and then I can just twist or twirl the brush so that I can get those finer lines that I need with that flat edge of the brush. And like any home studio, you do have to pause every now and then while some little rugrat's sneaking behind there trying to bump my canvas. And now I'm going to start painting in some finer details of Levi's eyes with this little detailed round brush. And again, I'm just using raw umber for those blocking in stages of Levi's eye, and then I'll just start to add some titanium white for the highlights. Over on the left eye there, you can see that I've left a few little gaps for those little white highlights that I will paint in. But around the edges, I'm also using some carbon black. That'll just give it a little bit more depth to the eyeball. Now, although I do seem to have a different method with each painting I do like to stick to one rule, and that is for me, and being a right-hander, I like to work from the top left-hand side of the canvas right down to that bottom corner of that right-hand side when I'm doing detailed work like this. That way I'm not smearing my hand across my work. Of course, there's exceptions to that rule to go and tweak other parts, but that's pretty much how I like to work.
And if I can get that in, it gives me whether it's absolutely right or wrong, it gives me a reference as I can tweak later. But for now, I'm just using a little bit of raw sienna dark, and that will give me the the starting point I need to get this collar, this dog collar right.
Apologies for the bad audio there, but I thought I'd quickly just leave that in as I was painting and narrating as I was painting along. I apologise for the big builder's hand in the way there, terrible angle, but I needed to give you an idea of just the detail here in Levi's eye. And now I'm going to start painting over those darker undertones with those lighter highlights, where I've just mixed a little bit of that antique white in with a bit of yellow ochre. And I'm just finding these higher, hang on, where's my reference photo? I'll just put that up again. Okay, now where was I? That's right. Now I'm just finding those lighter areas of Levi's coat there, and I'm just, as you can see there, painting them in and then softening them out with that little 5mm flat brush. Now, am I going to get every little highlight and crease perfect compared to that reference photo? No, I'm not, but I'm getting that overall balance of accuracy as opposed to getting it, how do I explain? Getting it looking right, but not worrying about having to have every detail absolutely perfect. Now, there's a certain member of the household that does get quite jealous when I'm painting other people's pets, and that's this guy here.
You my boy, hey, you my boy, look at you. Look at you, you big boy. I love you.
And I've got to admit, he's looking a little sheepish there, because if Mum caught him in the studio with me, especially on that carpet, he gets in big strife. So, yeah, he's always looking over his shoulder, making sure he loves to get a pat from Dad. But, yeah, he just likes to keep an eye out for Mum, just in case he gets hunted off. Now, back to the painting. As I was saying here, I'm really starting to hit those highlights and creases under Levi's collar there, around that little ruffled area on her chest. You do want to stay pretty much true to the reference, but don't feel that you have to get everything absolutely perfect. Otherwise, you're going to be there for years trying to get those, or let's say hours and hours and hours of work, just to get every little crease and fold perfect. For this, as a pet portrait, you really do need to hit those detailed areas so that you capture that likeness, but don't give yourself so much pressure that you have to have it every crease and every part of that little fur absolutely perfect. Terrible camera work, I do apologise, but I'm actually holding the camera in my left hand while I'm trying to capture the detail and paint with my right hand. So yeah, a little ambidextrous sort of skills going on, but yeah, again, not perfect. I do apologise.
So as you can see from the reference, we've got it sitting on a little blankie. It's in portrait mode, but we managed to put it into a nice little landscape mode and on the painting. So here we have the end result. Come in for a bit of a look. Now, a lot of artists can only paint what they see, so I'm no different. The photo wasn't the best reference, but it was the only one we had. This little doggy has gone off to doggy heaven, so unfortunately we don't have any other pictures of her. I think it's a her. And here is the end result. Another nice little commission. And thank you very much to Bronnie for letting me be able to paint her beautiful little doggy.
Well, I found out later that it was actually for her sister, but yeah, you get the idea. And being a commission, I wasn't going to film it and put it on YouTube, but I thought, why not? It's not really for the beginner, but I'm glad you tuned in anyway.